Washington.
This your boy, Marty 4 here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamardi 4 here once again, and we are going to be here to review the episode 1, season 2 premiere of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now, before I begin, I need to do a special shout out, or just a greeting to all the new subscribers that have, discovered me and found me via the YouTube Blackout event, whether it be from footage or if we met in person at the actual event. So to all my new subscribers, hey, how you doing? Thank you guys so much for coming along for the ride. I think the last I looked, there's like 40 to 50 new subscribers, so that's just an amazing thing. So shout out to everybody who supported my channel and created more traffic to this here channel. So being that as it may, we gonna get into this premiere of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, because I saw the super trailer for this shit and I was like, look at Mona trying to make this shit more interesting, because y'all know last season was some bullshit. They tried it, it was a trial, it was kind of really the cast was so damn big, like it was almost too much, So be that as it may, we're gonna get into this episode. Now, this is actually a good episode to start the season off with. I enjoyed it. I think we're headed in the right direction, so let's get into it. It starts off with, Moniece, Tierra, and April. They own a motherfucking tropical breeze, beach and whatnot. Now, we're just gonna sit here, we're gonna address the elephant in the room. We're just gonna get this out the way. Tierra is fat now. I've said it, it's out there, but she still looks good. We're just gonna acknowledge it for what the fuck it is. She's fat now, but she still looks good. So she says she's done with Ray J, even though we saw her walking off into the sunset with Ray J the last season, and they talked about they were supposed to be together, but then at the reunion they're not together no more, and people trying to wonder what the fuck happened. But that's neither here nor there. So April says, okay, I want to, I have my baby now. We're trying to get, myself back out there, get whatever the career, because I'm not even sure what it is that April does exactly, other than, be on the road with Omarion. But I guess she's into like beauty or something of the nature. So she's going to have this event where she wants to invite both Tierra and Princess, because her and Princess, they met last year. They got cool, all that good shit. Okay, cool. And so she wants to invite us to the event, but she knows that Princess and Tierra, don't really get too much along, because they both rode the same dick. So she's trying to be as a friend to Tierra, give her a warning and be like, yo, I want to invite you to this event because you my bitch, but I'm gonna let you know that I'm inviting your sworn enemy as well. And Tierra was mature about it. She's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let you know that as long as she stays in her lane, I'll stay in mine. We should be good. So, and then Moniece is talking about, oh, I have this new man. He's going to be coming in town this week, and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Because I always thought that Moniece was a very, pretty girl, but she just a little up here, And I think we kind of figure out why that is later in the season, from a scene with her and Fizz, and I believe her mom. I think that's going to come to light and make more sense later, so I'm interested to see that. So next we have probably the most interesting part about this season. Milan Christopher is in the studio with Miles. We're just going to sit and pretend that we don't know that part about this yet. We're just going to pretend we don't know that yet. So he's in the studio with a rapper named Miles. And they got some song about bounce that ass like a trampoline. Bounce that ass. What? Get it? Okay. Actually, that shit sound good. I wish they played that at the Blackout. But that shit sounded good though. That was, it made me want to get, hey, drop it low. Okay. Okay, I'm good. I'm back. I had a moment. So Milan is fine, and Milan can get it. We're just gonna put that out there in the universe. How you doing? So, and you see, he got the chocolate skin, he got the bald head, he got the lip. Okay. All right. Good. Whew. All right. So there was that. And so we move on to the next scene, because Hazel Lee came in and they talked about, oh, being all vague and shit. He's like, so how's Bay? And he's like, oh, you know, he's cool. Bay's fine, but he's just be on some other stuff. Well, you know, okay, I'm sorry. He didn't use any pronouns. We're supposed to pretend like we don't know. They be on some bullshit, but you know, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to be real. So, like, we saw the promos, bitch. We know who the fuck you talking about. It's just funny how they still try to. Well, actually, no. The promos didn't tell that he was gay, but who didn't know watching into the show that he was gay? Anyways, so we're gonna just try to be neutral, get you gender neutral pronouns. So you're trying to say, oh, you know, I'm in love, and you know, Bay is this, but he's on. Okay, I keep saying he. I can't help it, but they are on some other shit and da 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 da. I'm just like, oh, okay. You fine as hell though, Malak. Ooh. This is one of the people that God took his time on. But anyway, so next scene we get about Ray J and Princess talk about, you know, apparently some big fight or altercation that happened in New Orleans in the news. I didn't see this particular incident on the news. I just probably wasn't checking for it. But apparently something happened where allegedly she broke his ribs or tore his ACL and she got sent to jail, and it's, you know, allegedly not true, and because Ray J had a warrant, she took the rap for it. I'll be damned. You better be, bitch, because, oh, I think not. Because from what I understand, it's his fault that the shit even leaked out to the media anyway. So, because you have a warrant and you don't want to take the rap for it, but yet you want to be the one to leak the information and all the business out to the motherfucking media. Oh, okay, Ray J. All right. All right. And then, to further his bitch assedness, they have this conversation, and so Princess is trying to talk like, yo, so what's up with these strippers in your room, bitch? Like, what's up? And here go Ray J trying to do a little tap dance around the question. He was like, so what happened was, I had this apartment, I like to turn up, and, you know, I got a room to meet up with some friends, or some bullshit he was saying, but he's like, no. What about the strippers? I saw your motherfucking phone. The stripper said they was coming through to the hotel room, and he just sitting there just trying to pretend like he didn't hear what the fuck she said. I'm just like, okay. All right. See, when niggas do this, they don't realize that you're just sitting here telling on yourself. If I'm sitting here trying to ask you a direct question about some bullshit that you did, and you want to sit here and just pretend like you didn't hear what the fuck I just said, or try to dance around like what I said didn't really happen, you just told on yourself. Even though you're trying to sit here and pretend and protect yourself, you just told on yourself. So now I know the shit is. So she starts crying, and Ray J's like, you know, I want you to come back home, because apparently she's been hiding out from his ass. Come forgive me one last time. I'm just like, Princess. Well, at least I'm glad that they didn't drag this out. Like, Princess, he ain't gonna do nothing different. He just wants you to come back because he tried to fuck with the rest of them hoes and it didn't work out, and you the only one that's gonna deal with his bullshit thus far, anyway. So, girl, don't even do it to yourself. But she's like, well, I'll think about it. Pretty much. So we get to Omarion, and he's performing, and he talks about how Supposed to Be is on, you know, the #1 song and this, that, and the fourth. I'm not sure if it was Billboard #1, maybe R&B or hip hop, what have you. But no shade, Omarion. The only reason that song is #1 is because Janae Aiko talked about eating the booty like groceries. The fact that the song was #1 really didn't have anything to do with you per se. It was all about her ass. So let's just throw that out there and be real with the shit. So April and Nene, they link up at the club, and they're talking about, you know, Nikki has this new lingerie line, and April's like, yo, like with the baby and Omarion, us being on the road and doing this and that, like we don't get a chance to fuck like we supposed to. Like when we get home, like we're trying to put the baby to sleep, and I can't sit here and bounce some ass in front of the baby. Like that's just rude, you know. So Nikki's like, well, what you could do is, you know, just take the fucking, if you can't do it at home, take it to work. And April's like, you know, I should pop up on one of his rehearsals and, you know, suck his dick in the alley. That would be cute, wouldn't it? Like, so that's gonna be her. Then she's like, well, you know, I think I'll pop up on him and just see how that goes. So I'm like, okay, we'll get it, girl. So then we get to this next scene with Monique. So she's waiting out by the airport by her man. So it's this Richie D guy. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to be completely honest and say that I didn't watch, I believe he's from Love and Hip Hop New York. I didn't watch that just because I frankly don't get too much excitement from that particular branch of the series. But he's supposed to be from Love and Hip Hop New York, and now they're going to be fucking. I'm like, oh, okay. He's talked about, oh, I'm so in love, and Monique said, oh, we're so in love. We've had long distance, but now he's here, and all this other stuff. I'm just like, I mean, okay, that's good, that's great, but you're on Love and Hip Hop, so there's gonna be some fuck shit at least sooner or later. So, so we'll see how that goes. You move from one Love and Hip Hop series to the next because you're so in love. All right, we'll buy it for now. So Princess and Ray J get on this boat, and he tries to plead his case, talking about, I'm just addicted to the after party, and you know, this is how I turn up, and this, that, and the fourth. Well, shit. Princess like, well, bitch, why don't you just be single? Cause this ain't gonna work. I ain't with this shit. And so he's like, you know, I want to be with you, this, that, and the fourth. But he was like, so what do I have to do? What do I have to do to bring you back home? Blah, blah, blah. Well, she's like, well, first you have to get rid of this apartment. Because he apparently has some apartment that's supposed to be conducted for business. But it's basically like a fucking bachelor pad. Like, he be fucking bitches in and out of there. Or he's talking about he used to fuck bitches in and out of there. And she's like, well, what the fuck? How's this supposed to make me feel any better? Like, what and so he's like, well, okay, I'll get rid of it. If it's what you want, I'll get rid of it. So she's like, oh my God. He said he'll get rid of the apartment for me. And I'm like, God, he's really gonna change. Just wait, bitch. Just wait. Y'all know bitch ass in this. Bitch ass niggas will never stop being bitch ass niggas. It's gonna take a lot more than that for them to stop. But we'll find that out later on in the episode. April and Omarion, she, you know, they do. She meets up with him at his little rehearsal. He's doing some dance move with, I guess, one of his dancers, and she shows up decked out in her high heels, her leg stockings, her little coat, and basically it looked like she was about to rip that bitch out and pull her titties. Well, she's like, well, you know, I just wanted to come and visit you, and da-da-da-da. I'm just like, oh, okay. That's what the fuck I talk about. Omarion was just like, I like this. They're talking about going into the women's dressing room and getting a quickie, and I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, girl. Yes, ma'am. That's that spontaneous. What's the word? Spontaneity. What's the word for being spontaneous? Girl, put that down in the comments, and then I have to read the little enunciation of how you pronounce it, because I don't think I'm gonna say it right. But that was cute. So we meet a new bitch. Now, I want y'all to follow me. Hopefully, the story will still be there by the time that y'all see this. Follow me on Snapchat, because I did a quick little snap about this new girl named Amber that I thought was pretty funny. The link to my Snapchat will be in the description. So, Amber is this rap bitch who's supposedly the best rap bitch out. Bitch, where? Who are you? Why is one eye looking at me and the other eye is looking at cameraman number 3? No. And then now that I see what your storyline is, oh bitch, you are the joke of the season already. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So Amber and Miles are high school sweethearts. Again, we're gonna pretend that we just don't know anything for right now. And I'm just thinking, oh, poor baby. Poor baby. And they used to, you know, make music together and all this other shit. And she's basically like, okay, I still love him, and I'm just kind of waiting on him to get his shit together and come back to me. But Miles is like, so I fell in love with somebody else. I just don't know how to tell her, and blah, blah, blah. And he's, again, using gender-in-specific pronouns. Like, we don't know who the fuck you're talking about. It is just so funny. It's just weird. Like, really, just say this shit. Like, we don't already know. Like, we weren't, like, this didn't hit the blogs weeks before this came out. But anyway, they just had to do it just in case for people who aren't watching, who want to get the effect. And I'm just like, oh, I feel so bad for her. I always feel bad for women, or really not even women. Anybody who is in love with somebody, who, especially if they used to be together, and then all of a sudden they turn out to be in love or be with somebody else of the same sex. Like, it's one thing to feel cheated on, to, like, if you're a woman and your man goes with another bitch, it's one thing to kind of, you can compare the bitch like, okay, she may got bigger titties than me, she may suck dick better than me, she may have a fatter ass than me, but if you a bitch and your man says, oh, he's with another man, it's like, damn, like there's nothing, like you can't even like there's nothing you could have done to make yourself better. Like I can't fuck you like he can. Like I can't, was my dildo not big enough? Like it's just I just feel like you can't compare. Like it seems just more devastating. Like Nico on Love from Hip Hop Atlanta, he probably felt like, well, damn, Margot is in love with another bitch. Like, was I not good enough? Like, did you even love me at all? Like, it feels. I just feel like it would be more devastating to find out that the person that you were with cheated on you with somebody of the same sex, and you're supposed to be in a heterosexual relationship. Whoo! So we move on past that. That's gonna be my favorite storyline. I'm telling you. So April has the event. I guess it looked like a nail thing that happened with Tierra and Princess. And so, of course, Tierra's like, bitch, I'm just here. I'm here to support my friend, but if this bitch tries it, it's going to be me and her. And so Princess comes over and is like, hey, how you doing? This, that, and the fourth. And she's like, well, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that, the issue wasn't necessarily with me and you. It's more so with Ray J and how you were going out talking about calling me a bitch, how you would beat me up because I threw away your stuff. And then Tierra was like, well, hold on, bitch. The reason I did that was because Ray J was the one who was out here saying that you were the one who threw my shit away and all this other stuff. So it was basically a miscommunication. And then she talks about, well, I heard that you was, in the blogs that you was whooping his ass and all this violence and stuff. And she's like, well, no, that's not true because he just leaked stuff out to the internet and blah, blah, blah. And Tierra's like, okay, well, I can understand that because from experience with dating him, he did used to leak shit to the internet or the media or whatnot. So she's like, I can understand that. And Tierra goes on this little preaching moment. It's like, bitch, if you're in a relationship, you should be happy. Like, I could tell that you are not good. If something is meant to be, you're supposed to be happy. And you're not happy. And so that kind of broke down, Princess and made her, touch the soft spot. And that was some real ass shit. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, it should be seamless. Like, love should not hurt. Okay, love is not pain. All right, it really shouldn't even be questioned. Like, if you're questioning whether or not that you're in love, more often than not, you're probably not. Okay, so let that be a word of advice that came from Tia Marie of all people. But that was some real shit. So next we get to this whole, finally, the big reveal that Miles' boo thing that he'd been in love with, Milan's boo thing that he's so in love with is Miles, and they in the bed and shit. And Milan is being all cute and stuff, being all fine and sexy. Talking about, he wants to go out, go to a movie, like he wants to go and do race car driving. I'm like, that's what I like to see. I like to see somebody who wants to go out and do shit. Don't just be in the motherfucking house. But anyway, the other guy is like, oh, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not doing this. I don't want to do that. And I'm thinking, well, but you agreed to have cameras film you live for national television with this man that you're in love with, but you don't want it to be out there like that? What? How is that supposed to work? I never understood, like, okay, I guess, did you plan to come out soon? Because if you didn't, you're sure as hell out now. So, and I can understand, like, that's why you don't be dealing with these DL motherfuckers. I know that most of my followers, or most of the people that I subscribe to are women, but for the dudes who do watch, don't be trying to deal with no DL man just because he's fine as hell. Like, if he's sitting here keeping you around like his dirty little secret, you can only see him at the nighttime in the middle of the night, and he won't bring you out in the daytime, like, there's really no reward in a lifestyle or relationship like that. You're really not going to get nothing from it. You're going to start feeling, have all sorts of self-confidence issues because, like, he feels like you're not good enough to be shown off to anybody else in the daytime. Like, no. And so, of course, Miles is getting tired. He's like, look, eventually, if you can't take this step with me, we might just have to wrap this up. Like, because I need to find somebody who's at least going to be, you know, confident enough to be with me in the daytime. You know, like when the sun is up and not in the middle of the night. And Milan is too fine to be dealing with shit like that. But he's still so in love for right now, so we're going to see how this thing goes. But yeah, I could understand how that can get frustrating. Like, we always had to be in the house. We always had to just sit and watch Netflix. Like, I want to go out and, you know, get some fresh air, you know. Like I said, I could just completely understand. So, Ray J and his whole apartment party thing. Now, Ray J just told this girl, I'm going to get rid of the apartment. But in his mind, he's like, okay, I'm going to get rid of the apartment, but one last time, I'm going to do this whole turn-up thing. And I'm just like, bitch, that is the stupidest. If you're going to get rid of the apartment, get rid of the apartment. Or if you're going to do that, at least when you were trying to plead your case, ask, like, would it be okay? Like, at least let her know, like, I'm going to do it just one last time to get it out my system. And I felt like if he did that, it probably would have gone over better with Princess, as opposed to her being at home, even though there's cameras there, and she just happened to be at home and get the text while the camera's there. It's just the way these reality shows work. It just make it look fake. But anyway, so she's at home and she has to get a text about, like, from some random bitch, like, hey, are you coming to this party? And she's like, bitch, what party? And so she pops up and starts throwing water, throwing drinks. You know, Ray J's over there with strippers, grabbing asses and things like that. And so she's like, well, what the fuck? Like, so what are you doing? He's like, hey, ratchet bitches and hoes, and da-da-da-da. And he's like, what are you doing? Stop. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? This, that, and the fourth. And so he's like, so you was getting rid of the apartment, right? Oh, okay. Well, you have fun. You want to do your finale? Okay, you do that. You be single. I'm going to be out. Deuces. And he's like, well, this is me. You want to know the real me? This is how I fucking turn up. Well, she's like, okay, well, you do that. You turn up by your damn self, okay? And she had every right to feel like that. Like, bitch, you just sat there and told me that you was going to get rid of this shit, but now you want to come and have this, and then you're going to sit here and do this very thing that I just told you I started and broke down and cried about you know, whatever, bitch. And so she's like, you know, you got dirty socks on anyway, bitch, bye. And then some random hoe in the background was like, bitch, your feet crusty. And then Princess going to lunge over after the bitch. And apparently, I don't even know if that was the same bitch who said the comment. I guess it was, but she was the one who kicked the damn hole in Ray J's apartment wall. I was like, oh shit, okay. So that was episode 1 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 2, y'all. And so far, we're off to a great start. So I'm interested to see how this is gonna go. But thank you guys so much for watching again. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I hope you guys enjoy what you've seen and what you will see. I hope you stick around. Make sure you share, like the videos. You know, all my information, social media is in the bottom bar below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Jamar Washington.